Hello and welcome back. And in this video, we're going to be talking about edit button, basically a control that can trigger editing in local scope. So you must have seen in your UI kit table views or collection views where you can add an edit button, and that edit button, what it does basically is it makes your view editable, right? So how do you achieve the same thing using SwiftUI? So let's go ahead and take a look. Okay, so we are going to be creating two state or two property wrappers. One is going to be an observed object, and we're going to create a model actually. So that model is going to be what's going to be the observable. So let's go ahead and create the model first. So I'm going to create a class right here. I'm going to call this model, and it's going to be observable object. Now this observable object is going to publish some fruits. Okay, it's going to publish an array of fruit. Okay, and this fruit need a type. Okay, so we're going to create a struct called item, which is going to be identifiable. Okay, and for identifiables ID or requirement sake, we're going to create an ID and initialize it with UUID. We're going to have a name for this guy and an image. So, well, let's not create an image. Okay, just create another color property maybe. All right, and this is going to be of type color. Okay, so it's going to have an item. Okay, capital I. There you go. All right. And we are going to be basically loading this from a static function. So let's create a static function first. Static function, which is going to return static func load fruits, which is going to return item like so. Okay, and it's simply going to return an array of item with name and color. So name it, like we can have maybe blueberries. Okay, that's enough. All right, so we're gonna have all these, and this guy is gonna load the fruits. Okay, so it's gonna get published, and we are going to create an observed object. Okay, and this is gonna be our model. All right, and we also gonna have a state variable like so. Okay, so basically a selected ID, which fruit is selected. All right, now for the example, we're going to create a navigation view. All right, inside this navigation, we're going to create a list of we're going to provide selection and bind it to selection ID. Okay, and we're going to say for each model dot fruits item in. So we're going to get each individual item. We're going to simply say text item dot name. Going to tag this with item dot ID, and let's give this a foreground color, item.color. Okay, and basically what we're going to do is we're going to provide navigation bar items. So navigation bar items. Okay, and we're going to provide a trailing item or trailing view of called edit button, which is inbuilt button, edit button. Okay, and we're gonna basically create a function selected name, which will take an ID, and we're gonna make sure we have the ID before proceeding, otherwise return. Okay, so for selected name we can actually simply say if let item is selected item, which is going to be another function that takes an ID. So let's create that. Selected item takes an ID again, UID, and returns an item. Right. So this guy is going to say cardlet ID. Okay, return nil. Otherwise, return model dot fruits dot first with where condition. So where $0 dot ID or first argument dot ID is equal ID. Okay, so that is going to return a selected item. All right, and we're gonna supply the ID there if let item, so we can get the uh, item. So this is going to be optional. Okay, and okay, yes. So we're gonna return item dot name. Otherwise, gonna return none. Okay, all right. Excuse me. So that should basically create a list for us, and the list is gonna have all these values that we have selected or we have provided for our table. This is our model, and when we click on edit, as you can see, we have um, selected these, and you can edit. So as you can see, the selection retains, right? And basically you can edit the table, right? Like so. So what you can do with these two functions, right? So what you can do basically is this edit button, you can observe for on change, right? So on change selected ID, whenever the selected ID is changed, you can call selected name with that value. Okay, now this is going to return something, right? So we need to basically display that somewhere. So why don't we use basically the title of the navbar to display the selected value? So we can simply say um, create another state variable for title, initially defined none. Okay, and we are simply going to say title is going to be receiving this value that we have selected, and then you're gonna have navigation title as title. Okay, so if you try to resume this, you're basically, what you're doing is, whenever you're putting your table view into edit mode, you select a value, you click done, and that is your title. So edit mode, the value is retained, right? So that's how you actually build an edit button inside your list, and you can basically have it perform various different operations. Basically, just observe for these changes. Okay, so with on change, you can observe the change that's happening on the value that you're observing. Okay, all right, so this is it for this video. Hopefully you guys liked this video, and thanks again for watching. I will see you guys in next video.